I'm Tash from Safari Online and welcome to Africa Uncovered. Where we share the insider tips, honest advice and things you need to know before you travel to Africa. Planning a safari sounds simple, right? Choose your destination, pick a lodge, book your flights and off you go. But there are a few mistakes we see travelers make again and again, and some of them can seriously affect the experience you have once you get to Africa. So if you're planning your first safari, here are 7 mistakes to avoid before you even leave home. Mistake number 1, choosing a safari based on price alone. One of the biggest misconceptions about safari is that all lodges within a reserve offer roughly the same experience. They don't. 2 camps can be in the same region, but the experience you have at each one can be completely different. Things like your guide's experience, where the lodge has permission to drive, how many guests are in your vehicle, the density of wildlife, and even the lodge's exact location can have a huge impact on your safari, because the cheapest option isn't necessarily the best value. Imagine finding your first cheetah sighting and then discovering you're one of 10 other safari vehicles all trying to get a glimpse and not wanting to share. Sometimes paying a little bit more can mean fewer vehicles, better guiding and far more intimate experience. Mistake number 2, underestimating jet lag. Here's something nobody likes to think about when planning their dream safari. You're going to be tired. After 24 hours or more of flights, airport queues, connections and transfers, that romantic idea of waking up at 5 a.m. for your first game drive might suddenly feel very different. And jet lag doesn't care whether you're 25 or 55. That's why we often recommend adding a buffer night when you arrive, particularly after a long international journey. Get some sleep and have a proper breakfast. That way you start your safari refreshed rather than exhausted, because a good night's sleep can make a remarkable difference. Mistake number 3, overpacking your itinerary. We understand the temptation. You've traveled all the way to Africa. You've got limited holiday time and there are so many regions you want to see. Botswana alone has at least 7 popular regions and you want to tick them all off your bucket list. On paper, it sounds incredible, but in reality, you'll spend more time in planes and transfers and miss out on that wildlife sighting on the 5th game drive that you couldn't join because you were already packed and ready to move on to the next lodge. Mistake number 4, not using a true safari specialist. Now this is a big one. Safari isn't just about finding a lodge online, choosing the room with the best photograph. There are hundreds of camps and lodges across Africa, and they all have their own strengths and weaknesses and personalities. A true safari specialist knows these differences. They know which camps have exceptional guides, which ones are better for families, and which areas have the best wildlife at different times of the year, which camps offer walking safaris, which have excellent photographic opportunities, and which properties might look fantastic online, but aren't really the right fit for you. That's what we are here for. One of our safari experts can tailor-make your safari around you, your interests, your budget, and the kind of experience you and your family are looking for. Mistake number 5, ignoring shoulder season. Peak season is particularly popular. The months just before and just after peak season, known as shoulder season, can offer some fantastic advantages. You may still have exceptional wildlife viewing, dramatic landscapes, and excellent safari conditions, but with fewer vehicles at sightings and in many cases, better value for money. In fact, many experienced safari travelers deliberately choose shoulder season. So don't automatically assume that peak season equals the best safari. Mistake number 6, skipping comprehensive travel insurance. This is one we really don't like to think about, but we have to. Would you travel without your cell phone charger? Probably not. Well, think of travel insurance as the charger for your safari. You might not think you need it now until you really do. Safari destinations can be remote. Flights can be delayed. Bags can go missing. And if you need medical treatment or an evacuation from somewhere like the Okavango Delta or the Serengeti, the costs can be enormous. And your local hospital is not just a pop away. So travel insurance isn't a been there sort of badge that you just put on your backpack. It's an essential part of your safari budget. Mistake number 7, trying to visit too many countries. Kenya, Tanzania, Botswana, South Africa, Namibia, Victoria Falls, Mozambique. We get it. It's Africa. You want to see everything. Our advice? Think depth rather than breadth. A carefully planned safari in 1 or 2 countries can give you much richer experience than racing across the continent trying to tick off destinations on a list. Because the goal isn't about flying home saying, I've been to 6 African countries. It's to fly home saying, when can we come back? So there you have it. 7 safari planning mistakes that are surprisingly easy to make. But there's more. The packing decisions, the expectations, the small details that no one tells you about until it's too late. In the next part of this series, we're looking at the most common mistakes before leaving for your safari. And trust me, you don't want to miss it.